Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com, and this is episode 73 of Photo Critiques. And in Photo Critiques, people send me in some of their best work, and I critique each shot with suggestions on how they can improve it. And today, I'm pleased to critique the work of Harshit Sreenivasan. I'm hoping I got close on your name, Harshit. And Harshit sent me in some work before. In an earlier critique, I did some of his shots, but he sent some more in. And I will critique your work more than once. Just, send it in, and I will put it at the back of the pack, so I do them in the order I get them. So if you guys are interested in me critiquing your work, I prefer you put them on a service like Dropbox or something like that, and then share the link with me for the folder that you have on Dropbox, and you send that email with the shared folder to me at critiques@anthonymorganti.com, and then I'll do them in the order I receive them, and I'm running about a month now on their critiques. Okay, this first shot is a pretty cool shot. This is framing, receding lines, and leading lines all in one shot, and that usually makes for a very powerful image. The exposure on here is perfect, very nicely done. When you do framing and receding lines, leading lines, and what you're doing is you're trying to lead the viewer through the photograph with their eyes, so their eyes resolve on something. In this case here we have a statue, but we only have the base of the statue. So it's a great idea and a great exposure, but the finale of the shot is a little disappointing because all we're getting here is the base of the statue. Of course, that is not Harshit's, fault. It's the way that, the way it is. That's the way this area is. So this is a nice thing if you ever were taking maybe engagement photos, or you're taking a picture of a child or something and you have them stand way over here, and then that would be a real powerful image. That's a real nice shot, F a 3.5. Now remember, I've mentioned in the past, if you want to get that kind of sunburst effect on any of the lights, you have to stop your f-stop down to at least f a 13, and that will usually give you a nice starburst effect. When you don't stop down, you get this kind of glow, which is nice too. Maybe that's what Harshit wanted. The picture is slightly distorted. I don't think it's necessarily crooked, but the tower here is leaning a little bit to the right, so I think it's got a little bit of distortion in the shot, which you should be able to remove in Lightroom. This is a very nice shot of the little girl. Again, a pretty large aperture, which makes her stand out and gives you a really nice bokeh in the back, which is really nicely done. The shot itself, though, especially around the eyes, is blurry, and I always mention that all the time. Is you really got to get the eyes really sharp, really in like super crisp sharpness. The sharpest part of the picture should be this little girl's eyes, and they're unfortunately a little soft, and the whole picture's in general a little soft. So be a perfect picture if those eyes were really sharp. This is a good example to show you the really limited depth of field you're going to have when you shoot a macro. This front part of the snail shell is probably less than a centimeter in front of the snail, and it looks like the focus is real good right in here. Like right in here. But right there is out of focus. That shows you really limited depth of field. Harshit did a great job. The entire snail is in the frame. You don't want to cut out any of the animal. A lot of times you miss some antenna or something like that of an insect, or in this case the snail. So very nicely done. Very nice color. I might have stopped down a little more, so this shell, which really shows some intricate colors and shading, if that was more in focus. So if you would have got down your f-stop to maybe f8 or so, I think you would have had the snail itself in focus and the shell in focus, and I think it would have been a stronger image. It's a very nice shot, just the sky, very nice exposure, some little bit of reflection down here. I think it's slightly crooked. This side looks a little lower than this side. I'm not 100% sure. Let's get level. Yeah, see, it leveled it a little bit. Yeah, so just be careful about your horizons. That's like the most common mistake I see among people that take pictures, is they're not real careful that the horizon is straight. It's not the worst mistake you could make, but it's the most common mistake. So always make sure the horizon is straight when you're doing landscape shots. And this is a really nice shot, you know, fireworks. We have some firework cut off here. Typically you don't want to cut off any of the fireworks. Usually you just leave your shutter open for a very long exposure. As you can see, Harshit did 24 seconds here at f10, and you got the you know, fireworks as they go up, and it's very nicely done. It's just too bad. I mean, you have little control when they're shooting fireworks up in the air of where they end up in the frame of your camera. So it's too bad this one got cut off. This is a really interesting shot of the mist. There's a reflection of the light post down here, the water. You know, kind of a, you know, a burst effect of the light source. So it's kind of a cool shot. It's more abstract, and a lot of when there's abstract shots, it's hard for me to critique and say what you could do better. It's more of an art shot and what's in the eye of the artist, not so much you know, me as being a critiquer of photos. It's again another animal totally in the shot, which is very good. Didn't cut any of it off. Two things though. You typically want the way the animal is looking to be looking in the larger part of the frame. So you'd want this bird way back here. So they're looking at the larger part of the frame. So if this bird was flipped around, it would be perfect. Head over here looking at the large part of the frame. As it is, it's looking at the smaller part of the frame, and that it doesn't look balanced when you do that. And the other thing is, as I always mentioned, it's not in tight focus around the eye. You really got to be careful. Use single point focusing. Put the focus point right over his eye, and hopefully you're using back button focusing. You could back button focus with continuous servo and hold in the focus button, and it will always be focusing as long as you keep that spot over the bird's eye. And then you could have it in motor drive, and you put your finger down on the shutter, and you could be ripping off, like, you know, whatever your camera does, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots a second, and I guarantee you'll have some keepers in those shots. But you would want the focus point a little bit to the left here, and the bird would be back. And that's it. That's it for Harshit. I'm sorry about my voice. I have a touch of a cold. Hope none of you catch it. That was a joke. Don't email me. I know you can't catch it, all right? That's it for this episode. I really do appreciate everyone watching my videos. Thank you very much. And if you guys have time, go over to my website, anthonymorganti.com. Got all kinds of photography stuff over there you could check out. And go to YouTube if you haven't already, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate that. That's it for this episode. I'll talk to you guys soon.